Texas Local Live. My name is Ben Martinek. I'm your host for the show. Today we have Magnolia Wind up here with Chris and Kristen. How are y'all doing?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Good. Good to have y'all out. Thanks for coming out here. You know, we're in Nashville last night, yeah?
Yeah, we were just there a few days ago for the NAMM show.
Ah, cool.
Yeah,
How was it?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was really good. Saw a lot of cool new toys that I think we might want.
Y'all like tech stuff? Y'all like buying new things and having new stuff, yeah?
Yeah, there's just a lot of companies there that we could work with, and a lot of them that we already do work with and stuff. So it's good to see some people that we don't get to see all the time.
Yeah, very cool. Build the network up a little bit, shake some hands, say hey.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate y'all coming on here. We really looking forward to hearing some music from y'all tonight, too. If you're here hanging out with us live, y'all stick around. If you're on Instagram Live over here behind me, get your butts out here with the ranch in Las Colinas, Texas. Have some tunes coming on about 7 o'clock. But first off, we want to get to know y'all a little bit. I like to kind of start things out just, for the duo stuff. I like to hear how y'all got together, but also, why music? What got y'all into this scene to begin with?
You can start.
I don't even remember. It was something I just started when I was really young. I started piano when I was 4 years old, and the passion just grew from there.
Parents got you in, or just you?
I just would hop up after church and go straight to the piano.
Okay,
and my mom was
cool.
like, she likes this. We should pursue this.
That's
and
cool.
Thankfully, my parents saw that I had the intuition for it, and that's where it started.
Awesome. That's really cool. Kind of progress that, push you through it.
Yeah, and I would say it's probably pretty similar for me. I mean, I grew up with music in my family and everything, so it just kind of happened. And, one day I just picked up a guitar, and then I picked up a few different instruments, and then here we are.
Something like as simple as like when people ask you like, why do you do music? I'm like,
what else is there to do?
Yeah, I'm like, what else
like,
is life?
Yeah, it's just in you. Yeah,
it's the innate ability for you. Yeah, and then you're drawn to it. Like you said, you wanted to go to the piano, you hit a key, boom, something resonated for some reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened, right? That's cool. How did y'all hook up then? How did this become?
We actually we met in Nashville a couple of years ago. Well, actually, gosh, I don't even know. It's been a number of years ago at this point. It's 2018 now. So, but yeah, we met just at like a random bar. She'd been at a show at the Ryman, and I had done rehearsals with a band that I was at at the time, and we just started talking about music and had a common friend that we were there with, and we just kind of started doing music there, and a few years later we got married, and we started the band actually after we got married.
Oh, okay.
She was a solo artist and a songwriter in Nashville.
Cool.
And I was kind of just like a hired gun guitar player, touring with a bunch of different people.
Gigging, yeah.
And one day we were just like, why don't we just do music together?
Yeah.
And
it was so simple.
It's like you're over here and I'm over here. Like, why don't we just meet here? So and then that's where Magnolia Wind came from.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's interesting. Usually it happens right before, and then you're like, oh, well, let's get married because I like you like me. We see each other all the time. We're in the van, right? You know, that kind of scenario. Yeah. That's really cool. So how long was it after the marriage that y'all did this, the music part?
I think we waited. It was about a year after we were married, because she was still doing her solo thing, and I was still on the road with other people.
Okay.
And we were just we just kind of hit that point where we were like, let's just do this together and kind of write the music that we both want to. And
that was a defining thought when we started Magnolia Wind. It was because I was doing songwriting specifically.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
I was about to get to this. Yeah.
Yeah, and with that comes the responsibility of writing for another person.
Yep.
Which is a wonderful and great thing to allow to give your gift to someone else. But at the end of the day, you still want to write for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Chris was in the same boat, where he apparently is so talented, but he was playing other people's songs. And so I think Magnolia Wind kind of grew out of us wanting to have our own thing and our own music.
Yeah. Call it your own, yeah. Yeah, I was curious about the dynamic of writing, if y'all had done that previously to Magnolia Wind, or if that was done just like, let's start writing, let's make it happen together.
And we did write some songs and stuff before we actually created the band.
Okay, cool.
And that's kind of like what got us thinking about it, like, why don't we just write songs together and do them together?
Yeah.
My first full EP, Chris actually played almost every single instrument on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and as a songwriter, you write things at home and all the time. And Chris is great at like chordal structures, and I would write a song and I'd be like, this is just not delivering like the emotional message I'm needing. I'm like, there's something wrong with it, and I'd be like, oh, Chris, like what's wrong with it? Fix it. And so then he gets credit on the song, and so I think those were the very early, very beginning moments of Magnolia Wind.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a really cool dichotomy there. I really like that. And now, obviously, living together, it's also another dynamic, like in the other room. Hey, what is this missing? Or instant like gratification of that on your part as a songwriter. And do you write stuff as well? I mean, music.
All of our songs are 50-50 at this
cool,
point.
Cool.
We write all of our music together. So.
Lyrics and as well, like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also interesting too. The lyrical mind, because that's a different thing as well. There's
absolutely.
Songwriters all over the country. Obviously, Texas we focus mostly, and then Nashville too. Obviously, it's a huge influence on country music. Duh. Yeah. But hearing the songwriter versus the performer or the composer, it's an interesting concept in the mind, for that matter. Left, right brain, whatever you want to call it, but it's an interesting variable there too. So I always like to pick on that. It's cool y'all can do that together, the writing aspect, that is. So So what are some things that y'all have seen? Obviously, you've played various venues and avenues and things like that. What are some things you've seen out there on the road? Maybe some things you've learned independently and together. I mean, y'all both have different backgrounds as solo artists, songwriting, and gigging, playing that scene. And real quick, how many instruments do you actually get into? Like, would you feel comfortable playing live? How about that?
Well, actually, the funny thing you mentioned, that our normal live setup is we're like a two-piece rock band, basically, with a little bit of like Americana underneath of it, because our songs do tell a story whenever you listen to them. So it's not necessarily like full-blown like hard rock or anything like that, but I actually play electric guitar and basically a drum set with my feet, like at the same time while we do our show. So it's like a two-person trio. It was really
just the kick or kick snare?
No. There's an actual foot drum kit where it's got a kick drum, snare, hi-hat, cymbals, tambourine. Like there's all kinds of stuff. But I don't know. I would say that probably just a handful of instruments. I mean, I can play guitar, bass.
Well, you're playing drums and guitar at the same time.
Yeah.
Full kit. That's kind of.
But for us, it's just guitar and the drums.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So back to y'all's, I guess what you've gotten out on the road, or in your case, and what you've gotten out there as well, and your upbringing, I guess, within music. What are some things that I guess we'll start with that. What are some things that you've noticed that have been maybe some struggles that you had to get by individually and then together, and then maybe some advice for someone that's getting onto this, that's watching or that has seen our show, that's doing their first open mic next week, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. I would say on the road, sometimes it's better to just sleep in your van and not the CD hotel room.
Yes. Yeah.
It's okay to pass up a hotel room bed.
Yes.
Just stay in the van.
Your money. Stay in the van.
Yeah.
I'm going to go along the lines of not exactly that, but just take care of yourself while you're on the road. Yeah. Just because you play in a bar doesn't mean you have to drink.
Yes.
Stay hydrated. That's pretty much it. Eat a good meal, because day in and day out on the touring, it just wears you down. You don't even realize it until you stop for a second, and then you're like, oh, I'm kind of dizzy. Yeah, it's because you're not drinking water.
Yeah. That's great advice. Yeah, I've heard that from one other artist too on here, saying that just take care of yourself so you can be there, especially on the long stuff. And of course, a lot of the younger artists that are getting into it are not diving in straight away. But then again, we've had artists on here that have done, I played 3 shows, now I'm doing a 10 week thing. I'm just driving around doing it myself. Just young, getting out there.
Yeah.
The drinking thing is a big kicker. Have some water. Come on, perform.
I guess if you're young and you're wanting to come to the open mic, meet everybody you can. The wonderful thing about the music community is my experience, whether you're punk, rock, country, Americana, music people tend to be just very open and just accepting of one another. So just meet everybody that you can. You never know.
Don't be afraid to talk to people.
Yeah.
That's really, you've got to be, kind of a social butterfly at times, even if you're not necessarily
introvert.
Yeah.
And
so,
funny in that regard. You got a lot of artists I've met have been introverts, very much so. Like,
it's kind of funny.
You wouldn't think
we both really are.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it. At the end of
you
the
walk
day.
around the bar and you see people sitting in the bar and you're like, oh, okay, there's someone who doesn't want to talk to me, and then they're up here just belting. Like, what? Who?
Yeah.
What? You were over there like in the corner a minute ago.
Yeah, we love what we do, but you know, it's nice to go home and like recharge and just like just
I get
Netflix
that.
and chill.
Oh, I totally get that. So, you guys are obviously cranking out stuff. Y'all have had. Tell me some of the catalogs that y'all have had going out there thus far, and what's to come maybe this year.
Yeah. So our first one was Take One, which was kind of like a pun on like in the film industry, you have one take, two take, yeah. So that was our first EP. It was a 5-song EP, and that was 2 years ago.
It was 2006, when we did that.
2 years ago.
And then we did a live EP that we did in studio. It was just 3 songs. We shot some videos for it, and we took the audio and did like just a quick little live EP that we put up on iTunes and Spotify. So we don't have any like physical copies of that one. But for next year, we're actually releasing a full-length album. So that'll be our first full-length. Will be next year. So
we're working on that right now, I guess.
We're kind of our tour's actually coming to an end here in a few weeks.
Okay.
And it's going to be the rest of the year for the album.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Where y'all getting that done? The album.
It'll probably actually be in Memphis somewhere. Yeah.
You have a favorite you go-to producer studio?
We're shopping.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're shopping right
Just
now.
Curious. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just curious. Yeah.
Picked the one yet. But
All right.
Yeah.
Send request in, and we'll forward it along to them. Let's find their studio. Not that y'all don't know anybody up there, I'm sure. So I want to quick dive back into, we're talking about the networking aspect. Obviously, you kind of have to do that in this industry, right? You got to at least say hi, shake a hand.
Yeah.
What are some avenues that y'all take in terms of marketing for yourself? Do y'all do that on your own, website, social, all that kind of thing? What do y'all do in that regard?
Yeah, I would say that we handle most of those things in-house.
Okay.
As far as socials and stuff like that, you know, it's always us running things. We don't really have any type of like PR agency or anything.
Sure,
it's like pushing stuff out like some people do. Not to say that we wouldn't, you know, probably next year whenever we're releasing the album, you know, we'll have like a full PR campaign or something like that.
Take some pressure off yourself.
Yeah. You know, have some people, we'll kind of build a team around it for the release and stuff like that. But as everything is right now, you know, we just kind of do everything in-house. And
anything special that y'all like try to attack? I guess in marketing, like, is there anything that y'all would do during a show, or is it just play your show, shake hands? Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all obviously talk, but
I would say whenever we do shows, basically, pretty much kind of like what I always tell everybody is whenever we're playing somewhere, like say for instance, or where we were like opening Bell the other night. We usually just try to run like a Facebook ad or something with the actual event within a certain radius. You know, try to let people that's in the area know that we're coming.
Exactly.
And then, you know, after we're done with the show, we try to stick around for a little while and, you know, shake hands and talk to people. And it's important for us to like actually connect with the people that are there at the shows and get to meet people. And that's actually what we've been doing with our merch too.
I would say we also have an old school approach to marketing too. We still send posters out.
Oh yes, see, that's what I was curious.
We still do that, we do a two-sided approach to everything. Like we do run the Facebook ads, and we try to reach out to fans that we know, that we know in the area. We send them posters. You know, we send the venues posters. You have to reach out to local radio stations, especially anyone that's in the NPR business. Those local avenues, they love hearing up-and-coming acts. I think that's kind of how we do it. We try to take it from all sides. What's the analogy? Like you just throw noodles on the wall and whatever sticks.
Hope it sticks,
So that's kind of what we have to do.
It's like a shotgun approach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just have to
shoot till you hit something.
keep throwing those noodles.
Widespread and just let it happen. Cast the net, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, and then the follow through, like you said, to build a connection. It's one thing just to do a Facebook ad, spend $50 on it, get some. What is it? What is the reactions, or you know what I mean? Just those little KPIs. Yeah, it's just like okay, but it's another thing to follow through with it at the other end of it after the show, sticking around. That's, I mean, most people I would think, artists in that sake would stick around and like shake your hand. Selling merch obviously keeps you around. And you mentioned merch. What kind of stuff are y'all selling now? Do y'all have something?
Right now we've got T-shirts, and we've got our first EP. We've got CDs for those. We've got little like 1-inch buttons with our faces on it, which are always kind of fun to give away.
Cool.
Kind of like the ones that
like
like she's got on her shirt and stuff right now.
I have our gear buttons. These are our sponsors.
Oh,
Gear
cool.
amps. Big ear.
Yes.
And pedals. But
Yeah.
we have ones too.
I like it. I like the button idea.
And
Actually,
we've
that's
got
kinda
stickers, you know, little fun stickers, because everybody can slap a sticker
yeah.
on something, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
So we've got
cool.
those.
Tag everything, right?
Yeah.
Street team.
You
go.
have to.
Yeah, and actually
Yeah.
for this tour, we've been doing kind of a unique thing that we don't see a whole lot of people do, but we've actually been giving all of our merch away for free.
Yeah.
And all of our merch is just a suggested donation.
Yeah.
So we have prices that are listed, you know, with all of our stuff, but it's really about just getting our music into the hands of people that maybe may not be fortunate enough to pay for it at this
Yeah.
point. So we're giving all of that merch away for free if you're at a show. And if you feel like you can, you know, give some money, then that's absolutely up to you. But we've seen some positive outcome from that of people that have been very grateful for
That's
it that
cool.
maybe have not been able to afford, you know, $20 for a T-shirt or
Sure.
something
Yeah.
at that time. So yeah, it's been really great for us doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, you just want to get your music out there, and
Yeah, you
most
know.
people that buy the merch afterwards are the ones that were in, like you got to them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that was the one that I want to share because you guys were amazing. Like,
Yeah.
that's why, right? So,
Yeah.
anyone that doesn't, just take CDs,
Yeah.
please. Tell your
Yeah.
friends, take EPs, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So you said your tour's almost over. You're heading
Mm-hmm.
up. Tell us about the rest of that, and then maybe some plugs where we can find y'all.
Yeah.
So we have, after this, we are taking a little tiny day for our family for 4th of July.
Oh, okay.
And then July 8th, we'll be in Nashville. And then we will be in Cincinnati after that, and Grand Rapids on
Nice.
the 13th. And I think that is going to be the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, in 13th of July,
Yep.
closing up.
Yeah, and we've got a few shows that are probably going to pop up throughout the rest of the year, but they're just kind of like quick one-offs that are
Yeah.
within the area of Memphis and stuff that we may do. But yeah, Grand Rapids, Michigan is kind of the one that's kind of ending everything for
That'll
us.
be cool. What is that? What's that show? Is it a special? Is it like an event or like a what am I thinking? Like a festival situation? Sorry, I'm like thinking that.
No,
it's just
it's
a
just-
show
it's
y'all
just a
booked
show.
up.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
a
Just
yeah.
curious.
Stanley's Pub.
Okay.
That's the Cincinnati. Mulligan's Pub
Oh.
is in
Mulligan's.
It's
Yeah.
My
Mulligan's
bad,
instant.
guys. So many pubs.
Yeah,
They're
Mulligan's
Irish
Pub
pubs,
is
I bet?
Irish pubs.
yeah.
I like that. That's a good circuit.
But yeah, we've kind of been on the road since January, so we're
Oh, wow.
kind
Y'all been
of
grinding.
wrapping it up.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Good for y'all.
We're home for a few days a week, maybe, if
Yeah.
that, and then we may
Back
be
at
gone
it.
for a few weeks
back
and,
at it.
and back. Yeah, so.
Well, cool. Kudos to y'all for doing the grind and doing it the old school way. I love that. Posters, like, you got me at that. Like, I dig that a
Yeah.
lot. I know you got to do digital stuff, but whatever.
Yeah.
Posters
Yeah.
are so cool, man. I just dig it so much.
Yeah.
So tell us where we can find your music and maybe upcoming stuff. I know you got the new album will be next year, so we want to get on following y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are Magnolia Wind. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify, Instagram,
Our username-
iTunes,
yeah.
Apple Music.
Our username is at Magnolia Wind Music
There you
on,
go.
on
Listen to
most
that man.
on most socials except Twitter because it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So
Twitter's
it's actually Magnolia_Wind on Twitter, but everywhere else is
Y'all do a lot
Magnolia
of
Wind
Twitter
Music.
stuff or no?
No, I'll be honest,
Yeah.
we don't do
Yeah.
it on
Yeah.
Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
It's too
sorry.
quick. You got to be on it all the
Yeah.
time. Otherwise, you're
I
playing
don't
a show.
have time for that.
If you play an hour set, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna get
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
3 days on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter,
That's how
Twitter
it
days.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Twitter days.
yeah
I
it's
like
gotta
that.
be right. Well, I appreciate y'all coming up here chatting. I know Jed does too. Behind the cameras, working it up like he's doing.
Yeah, thanks for having us down here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna help. Hopefully, have some good exposure tonight. Get some good set going on here around 7 o'clock. We're down here at the Ranch Las Colinas. Get over here. If you're not, Magnolia Wind. Appreciate it, Chris, Kristen. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's any more words left to say, any more thoughts I need a place to call home. But I know I've had a good run, and I've written a few rhymes that make me think I might have done something right. When that empty page stares back at me, and I've given six still strings. One more song left to sing. I don't know if they wanna hear the truth anymore, or just some catchy tune with four chords. Oh, but I believe there are lost souls like me who can see the light and know something more than free. And when that empty page stares back at me, and I've given all I can bleed, I dig down deep to find a melody. One more song left to sing. And the road gets weary and the waves run, but when there's nothing, you find what you're made of. I got this pawn-shop guitar, six still strings, and one more song left to sing. Who gets weary and the waves run, but when there's nothing, you find what you're made of. I got this pawn-shop guitar, six still strings, and one more song left to sing. Just one more song left to sing.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.